Hey everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and currently I'm standing at 25th and Atlantic here in North Wildwood because there is a really cool history story I want to talk to you guys about, and it involves the Titanic. That's right. Now before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. Now imagine, today is April 10th, 1912. And you're on the Titanic heading to America on the unsinkable ship. Well, we all knew what happened. You know, on the 14th and the 15th, it struck an iceberg, it started to sink, and well, this is where a little bit of Wildwood history kind of died, but also it was the beginning of something that thousands of people were brought into this world because of. And that's why we're standing in front of here.
For this story, let's jump back to 1870, where Frederick Sultan, an English-born citizen, had moved to Philadelphia to start his own coffee import company called Sultan & Vansett. His company, which was located at 37 South Water Street, was at the perfect location where ships can come in and unload their cargo. Interestingly enough, that building still exists today. In 1877, he married Ellen Underdown, who was also born in England and moved to the Americas. They decided to move to Haddonfield, New Jersey and start a family. Sultan took the success of his coffee business and started investing into seashore properties. This had turned out to be such a good investment that he left the coffee world and became a realtor. The seashore town Sultan mostly invested in was the small village of Wildwood, aka Holly Beach. By this time, Wildwood was nothing more than just a small little town. It wouldn't be until 1895 when Wildwood was incorporated as a borough. Being that Sultan was at the forefront of the building of Wildwood, he wound up in many professional roles in Wildwood, such as the president of the Marine National Bank to the treasurer of the 5 Mile Beach Electric Company. He sure found himself integrated into the Wildwood life. In his later years, unfortunately, he fell very ill. According to Encyclopedia Titanica, on advice from his doctor, he made the voyage to England in March of 1912 for medical testing. Once the tests were complete and it was time for Sultan to come back, he purchased a first-class ticket on the Titanic, and the rest, they would say, is history. Now, there is one interesting thing that not too many people know about. Prior to heading over to England, he was building a mansion in North Wildwood at 24th and Atlantic. Due to his death, the family no longer needed the massive mansion. So in 1915, a doctor from England, Margaret Mace, purchased the mansion and turned it into a hospital. The hospital, which was known as the Mace Emergency Hospital, only had 25 beds and operated in this location until 1950. According to records, Dr. Mace delivered over 6,000 babies during her practice, and the building eventually closed right after her death. To recognize Dr. Mace, Sultan, and the Titanic Connection, the city of North Wildwood put a historical placard outside the building not too long ago.
So there you guys go, some really cool Titanic Wildwood connection that thousands of people benefited from, even though unfortunately we lost one soul. But if it wasn't for Dr. Mace and everything they did to this mansion to convert it to a hospital and pretty much bring all these people, I mean, most of the people that still live here in Wildwood have a connection to this hospital that used to stand here. Now, what's really cool is the city of North Wildwood a few years ago started putting placards around all these historical events or historical areas. And so if you ever come here, there's actually a blue plaque outside the restaurant that you could go ahead and read about. You could scan the RQ code and find some information. There's currently, I want to say, somewhere in the realms of like 8 of them around the island. So if you see one and you want to learn something about it, click that. You can find some great information, or you can reach out to us here. Anyway, thank you for joining us. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. And a special thank you out to all of my patrons on patreon.com. You too can support this channel and get some really cool history videos like this. I'll put the link in the description below. Thank you so much, guys. Stay safe, and as always, I'll see you on the beach.